What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. It's episode number 51. As always, lots to get through in today's episode, and apologies for no videos yesterday. As I've said before, it's not my job anymore, so sometimes I will miss a day here or there. But we are back today, we are back this weekend, and we've got a cracking episode to come back with as well. We've got more big games in the league, where we start with Paris Saint-Germain, the strongest team in France, as we know, have struggled out the blocks this season, right now sitting in 6th place and below us in the table, and we'll have matches 4, 5 and 6 in the Europa League phase. So we stay in the top 8, and our first game is Chelsea away in our return to England. So yeah, first game of many today. The one I've been most excited for, to be fair, since I joined Lyon is PSG away in Paris. And like I said, they've struggled out the blocks, but this is the most dominant team in French football, but will be closing in on 2 decades continuing on from the save. They are not going to stay where they are come the end of the season, you best believe that. First game, biggest test so far, PSG away, Allez Lyon. And I cannot work out why this PSG team is struggling so much. It's incredible. They've kept hold of their stars. You've got the front three of Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, and Desiree Doué as well. Behind, you've still got Vitinha and Zaire Emery, now at full potential. Vitinha, by the way, is 91 overall now. And they've added to it with quality as well. You've got Gabriel, one of the highest potential defenders in the game, and Ilya Zabani, who's made the interception there as well, who is criminally underrated as a defender in my opinion. I don't know why they've struggled so much, but anyway, still 0-0. That's going to do it for the first half. I am noticing this league and season is very defence-minded. We've got the best defensive record in the division, and we might be set for another clean sheet. Goals are at a premium in the French top tier, I'm finding. I've noticed that EA have done a bit more live tuning in their recent patch as well to the gameplay, so we'll see how that handles in today's episode. But you know, we talked about it at length in the last episode. Like they totally nuked what was a brilliant base game, and it was like, why? You know, like it just needed a bit of live tuning. It just needed a little bit of tweaking, and they absolutely nerfed so many things that was so good. It was so frustrating. But yeah, we shall see how it looks today. Freddie does really well there. Oh, Gomez, wonderful touch. Wonderfully done. Gomez, wonderful goal, incredible. And what a way to get your first goal for your new team. 8 games without one, and in the biggest game of the season, he produces an absolute moment of magic. Signed him from Leipzig, and I said it, I don't really know anything about this guy. Well, I certainly do now. That is an incredible goal, and the Belgian Miles Feeler is getting nowhere near that. We have scored some really nice goals to start this season off, even though we've not got many. That is up there as one of the best. What a beautiful goal. Yeah, I said it when I signed him from Leipzig. Bit embarrassed to admit this as someone who considers themselves to be quite knowledgeable about world football, particularly at the top level, but I don't really know who he is. I don't know anything about him. Oh, what a flip, what a goal that would have been. Only for Incambadio to make the save. But, yeah, I don't know anything about him. I don't know whether he's going to become the next Desiree Doué. I'm not entirely sure about that, but what a goal that was, and Doué would have been proud of that too, and he could be through for a dagger, a second, quick counter-attack, but the touch is poor, and Miles Feeler would get it away. But it's been another game where it's been defence-heavy, not really many chances being created, but the one we got was the one we took. And it's why we will leave Paris with all 3 points. Don't ask me why PSG are struggling so much this season. They barely put me under any pressure at all, apart from right at the end. But what I will tell you is this: if our defence stays this tight for the rest of the season, we could have a rear guard defensive display all the way to possibly a league and championship. There's a long way to go, but whilst going forward we've got problems defensively, we are rock solid. Yeah, this has been a truly bizarre start to this season. Sometimes career mode campaigns come completely out of left field. This is definitely one of them. I did not expect this season to be going the way it has so far. Not just for us, but some of the AI teams as well. Anyway, following contest, last year's Champions League finalists, who of course we beat in the final with Sunderland. Now Chelsea away. Stamford Bridge will be reunited with the Ant-Man who left the Black Cats to join the Blues. Heading into this, they've won their first 3 in the Europa League. They will have match days 4, 5 and 6, and a win here away in London will be absolutely priceless for our chances of finishing top 8. Next up, Chelsea away at the Bridge in my return to England. It's definitely something I'm considering this year. In fact, I actually talked about it a couple of episodes ago. I think that winning the Europa League might be our best shot of silverware this year. But considering we have to go through these guys to get it, maybe not. Romeo plays a lovely ball out wide to Jamie. Did you see his goal, by the way, against Wolves in the week? As Mark finishes brilliantly to make it 1. His goal for Chelsea's fourth. And if you haven't seen it, I'll try and remember to leave a link to it in the description. Wonderful bit of technique. And glorious how he hit it so quickly and kissed the post on the way in. That wasn't bad either from the Spaniards. Chelsea in front early, and I'll say it again. These guys, definite favourites to win the Europa League this year. It was an absolutely glorious, glorious goal. I don't think I'm overhyping it as well. It's one of my favourite goals of the whole season so far this year. And I must say, Jamie, he's always had talent. You know, we saw it at Borussia Dortmund. He's always had talent. The question with him is, can he do it consistently? This is often the big question when it comes down to a young player who shows flashes of brilliance at times, but then sometimes just isn't quite there when he needs to be. Can he do it consistently? If he can work on becoming consistent, then Jamie Bino Gittins has a real chance to be a star in European football for many years to come, and at the Bridge as well. Tonight has been great. As things stand, Chelsea still leading by 1, but that second goal is coming. Like I said, man, we might be one of the favourites to win the Europa League, but these guys are the favourites. I'm really struggling. By the way, speaking of things we saw in the week, did anyone see the picture of Antoine Semenyo shopping at Lidl? Fair play, man. My respect went through the roof for that guy. It already was sky high, but even more so when I saw that. He's a man of the people. You know, he really is. I might be an Audi guy myself, as Mark bends in his second, but fair play. For an age where footballers are sometimes seen as being tone deaf and out of touch, that can't be applied to Antoine Semenyo. What a guy. Love him. But I don't like this guy. Mark gets his second of the game, 2-0 down, game over. I thought we'd get found out against PSG. We didn't. We held strong in that game. But tonight, Blues have absolutely dominated me. Man, I've not even got close to them. It's going to be free. It's going to be free. Mark's torn me apart tonight. Offloads. Romeo, skips away for the third. Game over. I mean, it was already over anyway, but now it's been completely confirmed. I often say that in RTGs there are moments where you realise just how far you've got to go and just how far off where you want to be. If we want to get to Chelsea's level, Champions League finalists and going for European honours, yeah, this game has taught me we are a long way off that. It's been a decent start, but goodness gracious me, hardest game since joining Lyon. That was a battering. I'll make no two ways about it. That was absolute domination. Right, next up, back to matters in the league and back home as well. Third, playing host to fourth as Lyon right behind us by a point come to the Groupama Stadium. I have to say, this might be the most open title race there could be in French football for quite some time. Strasbourg are still top, but really anyone in the top 7 definitely has a chance of being champions coming to the end of the season. But for us, a win here and we should go into pole position heading into the international break. So following game, let's bounce back here and get back to winning ways. Lille at home. Yep, this might be the most open a title race has been for me in career mode in a very, and I mean very long time. Because whilst I'd still say PSG are the favourites due to their dominance in French football and the quality of team they've got, based on the start they've had, I mean, us, Marseille, Monaco, Lille, Strasbourg, we must all be looking at each other and saying, yeah, like we'll have a chance this year to dethrone them and get that title. It's very rare you'd have a season where in France, PSG aren't dominating, and in Germany, Bayern Munich aren't dominating. This is one of those seasons. This is one of those times. And so when the time comes, and when you've got the opportunity to capitalise, you got to make sure you do, because you might not get another chance again. You got to make sure you take it. And again, Lyon will be saying the exact same thing we are. Gusto, you got to win that. Ooh, that could have gone anywhere. But yeah, we've got a chance, man. We've got to capitalise on this. So easy up right now, well in. And that's the thing, man. Like, if we are to win this title, I have no... Hold on. Oh, Fofana, go on. Fofana, wonderful dribbling. Oh, blocked and put behind. That was such a chance, man. I should have belted it near the post. Like, defensively, I've got no problems at all. My back line is strong. The DM duo of Morton and Tessman is so underrated, man. I don't want to lose either of those guys in January because they are so crucial at helping shore up the back line. But it's scoring goals that's the problem, man. It's so difficult to get chances. I'm noticing that the French teams that I'm facing are very possession heavy. I'm really struggling to get the ball back off them once I lose it. Go on, Freddie, have a dig, son. You got the green light, shot blocked. But... oh, brilliant save by Dean Henderson. Can I get the goals? I only really get like 2 chances a game at most. So if my finishing isn't there, I'm not going to win. If I can't turn the draws to wins, then I can't turn a top 4, top 5 place into a title finish. It's going to be another goalless draw. It's going to be my second game held scoreless in a row, my third in 4. Yeah, that's the question. I am not worried about my defence at all, despite shipping 3 in London. I'm concerned about going forward. I've got to score more. And following the game, got a couple of players requesting transfers, but totally fine with that. Not really used either of them since the season has began. And like I said, it's a rebuild with Lyon. I always say this when I'm doing my first season with a new team, whether it's the first season of a new career mode or since moving to a new team, literally no one is a guaranteed stay. Like, if anyone wants to go, they can go. It's a long rebuild, man. So if no one's there for the project, I'm totally fine selling them at the next opportunity if they ask to leave. Anyway, following game, FC Metz away from home right now, still in the top 3, 12 games in, but 3 points behind the new league leaders Monaco now. Again, incredible start to the season defensively, only 3 goals conceded on the other end. Only 10 goals scored in 12 games. Yep, this season is all about defence, and it's so hard to get the goals, even though we are doing brilliantly at the back ourselves. But following game, Metz away, chance to improve our GD here and get a few more goals. Allez Lyon. I've always been this way when it comes down to RTGs. If a player wants to go and doesn't want to commit to a long-term rebuild, I understand that. If you wanted to star players, like Fofana, for example, I could understand that, who we thought was going to be a star here before we signed Freddie, of course. But yeah, oh, speaking of which, what a way to open the scoring. I'm saying to anyone, if you want to leave, the door is open, guys. I'm not going to stand in your way. Freddie is the exception. What a player. Yeah, let me clarify what I meant. I was talking about players I inherited, not players that I signed. Yeah, anyone I inherited is totally fine to leave if they want to, but for Freddie, he committed to the long-term project. He signed the 5-year deal. I'm sure he could have gone elsewhere, the young talent from Nantes. I'm sure that PSG could have come calling. I'm sure Marseille would have considered it as well. As Gomis, oh, hits the crossbar, and we almost went 2 goals up. He could have gone abroad, oh, but he said no, I saw what Doxy was doing with Sunderland in England, incredibly impressed. He's come to my country. I want to see him work, and I want to work with him as well. So close to his second. I'm telling you now, if Tessman leaves in January, I hope he doesn't. But if he does, or goes in the summer, he's taking the armband straight away. He is the leader of this team. So now down the left-hand side, that's Gusto to beat. Whitson, a dangerous delivery. Free header at the far post. What a save by Incambadio. Well, I said that everyone can leave if they want to. From the players we've inherited, I hope he never requests a transfer. He has been an amazing keeper to start off here with Lyon. And when you go into a new team, you want a safe pair of hands between the sticks. We've got one. He is incredible. And on the breakaway, after he caught the ball from the corner, Gomis will wrap it up, smacks it past Piers Charles, gets the second, and that is game over. Quick, old school FIFA kind of goal, but I'll take it. Could have been 1-1, now 2-0, now game over. Those kind of goals were scored very frequently in FC 25. As we talked at length this season, I've worked really hard to improve my gameplay and make it more possession based. I'm glad a lot of you guys have noticed that in the comments, but for that moment there, I wasn't taking any chances, man. Metz flashed a warning sign. I wasn't going to take it lightly. I needed the game wrapped up, and we got it done through Gomis' second of the season. So Lyon back to winning ways, big 2-0 victory there, and staying in the hunt for that league and title. Right, Thursday night, and now let's get back to winning ways in Europe as well. Only 1 win in our last 3 games. That last game in Europe being a defeat away at Chelsea. Now AZ Alkmaar coming to Lyon as we try and get back on track here and keep our top 8 hopes alive. Following game, AZ in Europa League. Like that, running Freddie, keep going. Oh, nicely done, Diawara. I see Tracy ahead of me. That's not, sorry, it's not Tracy. Yeah, it's not Tracy. I forgot I was going to give Zietler a go in this game. And, oh, he should have had the assist, man. What on earth was that from my main guy? Weaker left foot, sure, but dear, I didn't want... Yeah, a couple of times this season. Freddie's been the star this year. There's no doubt about it. It was a couple of times this season I've really dropped the ball with a guy and missed a couple of sitters. I've got to work on his finishing becoming more clear, because at the moment that's the only problem with the guy. He can do everything else, but sometimes misses an absolute gimme. Once again, it's been a really tough game for me out there. The conditions not helping. And he's an Alkmaar. Try and get through here. Diawara reads that. Again, defensively, no problems at all as Mera leads the breakaway, but I've got to start scoring more. I'm definitely thinking for next season Go on, Freddie. Nicely done. That's more like it, son. He weren't going to miss twice. I'm definitely thinking for next season already, depending on the budget we get. I like the lad Tracy up top, who I've given the night off in place of Zeta. I'm already thinking, yeah, I might need like a proper out-and-out striker who I know is going to take the chance. Because like I said earlier, I normally only get 2 chances, sometimes 3 a game right now with Lyon. So I've got to make sure I take them. I missed the first one, thankfully did not miss the second. That should see us return to winning ways in Europe. Yeah, I like Tracy, don't get me wrong, but is he going to be the guy that will lead us for all the years we're here at Lyon? That's the big question, man. Because Freddie will be in behind no matter what, but you know, at some point I want to bring Norton here to Lyon with me. I think we're still... Oh, Gomes! That was supposed to be a chip shot! And Zeal against his first of the season. I want to bring Norton in at some point, but it won't be next season, that's for sure. But that's the first for Zeitler this season in for Tracy. But that won't go down as an assist for Gomes because that was actually a chip shot. This is something as well I want EA to work on, man, because that means that if you take a look at the player performance, it won't give an assist to Gomes. And that's something I want EA to work on because sometimes... crosses turn into shots, but sometimes shots turn into crosses, and it would still be given as an assist officially. But in the game, anything that's used, any attempt that's used with the circle button, the shot button, can never be credited with an assist, even if it does turn into one. Even so, 2-0, it is back-to-back 2-0 victories. First time, I think, all season long, we've scored 2 or more goals in consecutive games, and Lyon back on track here with 2 really solid wins. Right, let's try and squeeze in 3 more games today, so I'm going to play match day 6 of the Europa League phase and end on that trip to Seville against Real Betis. Next up is going to be Le Havre, struggling down the bottom of the table as we go for our 3rd win in all competitions and possibly a place at the top of the table. Next up, Le Havre at home. There's some brilliant teams to use if you want to do an RTG in French football, by the way, and Le Havre are definitely one of the absolute best. For those who don't know about them, based in Normandy, they have got an incredible record of developing young talent, either through their famous academy or through bringing them in. You look at the likes of Riyad Mahrez, for example, who wasn't an academy graduate but was signed at a very early age. Paul Pogba was part of the famous Le Havre academy as well. Dimitri Payet, I believe, was also through the Le Havre academy, and many others too. I want to say Lassana Diarra came through the academy, but I might be wrong about that. But yeah, they've got a really famous academy, and they're well known for developing young stars. If you're looking for an RTG in French football, they start in Ligue 1 as well. They've got 2 really cool kits as well, and a side that have never won a major honour, Le Havre, definitely consider using them for an RTG. What a lovely ball that is by Tyler, by the way. Fine, keep going, keep going, keep going. Wonderfully done. Should be the opening goal, and he's offside. Just looking this up. Yep, Lassana Diarra did indeed come through the Le Havre academy before his move to Chelsea. He had such a really interesting start to his career because obviously he really made a name for himself at Real Madrid. But before that, Chelsea, Arsenal, Portsmouth, and then Real Madrid. Oddly enough, you would think it would probably go the other way around, really, before the move to Real Madrid. But yeah, very interesting career path. Yeah, did indeed start his career. Oh, what a finish, Gomes, with Le Havre, like many other brilliant French talents. What a goal that is, by the way. It's been a French talents 3rd of the year. What a strike. I absolutely love Le Havre's goalkeeper kit as well. It's so nice. It's a real 90s throwback, that, back in the days where the GK kits were often just so colourful and vibrant. That is a really nice kit, white with the blue and the yellow, as Tyler Morton fires one wide. But yeah, definitely worth considering, man. In fact, you know what? Soon I might do. I've done a couple of those top 5 videos, like top 5 teams to use in this country for an RTG. I might do a French one. Since we're managing in France in this career mode, I might do a French one and give you my... Oh, ref, you really going to blow for half time there? Give you my tips on some great teams to use. Le Havre would definitely make the top 5. But that is a top 5 poor refereeing decision. We're literally through for a one-on-one there. I understand that when the allocated minutes have been played of stoppage time, the referee is well within his or her rights to blow for the close of play. But come on. Seriously, like Freddie would have been through for a one-on-one there. I'd have slipped the ball through the gap. And it was such a big gap as well. I wasn't going to misplace that pass. That was an easy one-on-one chance. And she was like, nope, calling it there. It's like, come on, ref. Fair enough. But like I said, she's well within her rights to do so. But I wasn't worried. We were going to get a second goal at some point, and Freddie might have had to wait another 15 minutes. But now he's got goal number 5. And number 7, back at it again. Yep, that's going to do it. It's our 3rd straight win by 2-0. It is our 4th clean sheet on the trot, and no defeats in these 4 games as well. Might have had that blip away at Stamford Bridge, but like I said, we might not be able to compete with those guys yet. But to win this league and title, based on performances like this, we'll definitely have a chance. Right, let's squeeze 2 more games into today. Might try and play 3 actually, so we can get through to the winter break. But anyway, next up, staying in Ligue 1, but going away from home, going for our 4th straight win in all competitions. Stade Brestois away, and don't think I've forgotten about these guys, because they ain't forgot about me. Season 3, that Conference League semi-final, the drama with the fireworks the night before. Oh yeah, those fans are on my back on the back of that late 2-1 loss. We ain't forgot it, they ain't forgot it. Now I'm back here again, managing in France, and there'll be a hostile atmosphere as I make my return. Following game, Stade Brestois away, big test here. I do wish that you could have like historical memories from AI clubs to know, like when there's games of certain animosity between players and managers as well, because as we said before, like one of the great ways to make an RTG more enjoyable, one of the great ways to make it more immersive is to create some rivalries. We've got a good rivalry with Chelsea, with Sunderland, and that'll continue even now at Lyon, as we saw earlier today with a 3-0 thrashing at Stamford Bridge with Stade Brestois. It might even be the 3rd time we've played them in the save, but based on the ferocity of the legs we had against them in that Conference League semi-final, their fans wouldn't have forgot about that. I ain't forgot about that. It'd just be great if DA could make the game more immersive, you know, with more, let's say, aggressive crowd reactions towards a particular player, or in this case, a manager as well. The hosts almost score an early opener. You don't think they forgot about me, because they clearly haven't. They're up for this game today, and we need to be as well. My Lyon boys might not know about this, but I do. I need you guys. One thing I have thought about in the future is asking for donations to buy a gaming PC, because, as I said before, I don't really know much about this world. I'm not really into technology, but I do know with a gaming PC, the specs are going to be a lot better, and so I have said this is one way I'll be able to play Football Manager again and make FM videos, and I know how much you guys want me to do that, and hopefully you know how much I want to play FM again, because it's such a great game. But also B, we could play career mode, but like a modded version of career mode, because I've heard a lot about how you can mod CM and mod FC when you play on the PC. Again, as a console player, I don't really know anything about it, but that is one way we can make it a bit more enjoyable, I think, as Tyler Morton slips it through, and Freddie almost caught the man out of the near post. But yeah, if I'm going to do that, I'll need some donations from you guys. Not ready to ask for them yet, don't want to really. I feel a bit bad about asking for them, but it's another great save to keep it at 0-0. It is one way we can make our game mode and saves more enjoyable. I knew this was going to be a bit of a feisty game, and it certainly had that feel to it. Still deadlocked at 0-0. Is there going to be a late winner for either side? Oh, is that a pen? I think it is. It is indeed. Maxence brings him down, and Stade Brestois have the chance to end our unbeaten run in Ligue 1. Only 1 defeat so far. It came away against Stade Reims, and I ain't got any complaints about that either, man. It might have been a fresh air swipe going for the ball, but there were 2 Lyon defenders clattering into him. That is a pen, and that is a chance for them to take the lead with 10 to play. I don't really know where to go either, but I've gone the wrong way. Stade Brestois have surely won it. You know, the fans are getting on my back on the sidelines, and the host will inflict our first defeat on us in, I think, 9 games domestically. Yep, no complaints about that penalty whatsoever. But like I said, man, this is the thing. This is why the game could be so much better if they had like historical data and information on rivalries, if you will. Because you know the fans will be on my back, but I have no complaints. And for the 2nd time in a row, I go to Stade Brestois and lose. No doubt about it, we've got a rivalry with Chelsea and a rivalry with these guys as well, as our unbeaten streak domestically comes to an end. Right, following game, we'll end on this as well. Match day 8 of the Europa League phase. It is Real Betis away into Lyon. We are in the top 8, but again, it's been quite an unconvincing start. Only 3 wins in our first 5 games. If we are going to stay there with free to play, I'd say we need to win at least 2 of those 3 games, and this might be a really tricky test here. It could see us drop out of the top 8 with 2 to play. Final game today, Real Betis away, Allez Lyon. Yeah, no need to talk about it at length today. We did enough of that in the last episode, but when you think about how much better this game could be, it just makes me sad. Do you know what I mean? Like, the anger I have is now displaced by just genuine sadness. And if I'm being honest, unfortunately, I'm starting to feel some apathy growing as well, which is not good. But just the way the game has gone over the past, I don't know, 6-7 years maybe. But anyway, let's concentrate on the gameplay, get back to winning ways here away in Seville. Oh! And a big 3 points to end on. I do not want to end on back-to-back losses and going outside the top 8. Canata rolls it through to Anthony. And that's where Del rolls it through for the assist for the opener. 26 minutes in. And like I said, despite the good little mini winning run, it's not been all plain sailing our first season with Lyon. Absolutely not. We've had some tricky tests along the way. Defeats to Stade Reims and Stade Brestois, both away in the league, and possibly back-to-back away defeats in Europe that will put us outside the top 8 as well. As Fofana goes on a wonderful run. Oh, it almost scored a sensational leveller. Oh, thank you very much, thank you very much, thank you very much. First time I've caught the keeper out doing that. It's because the AI on Ultimate very rarely misplace a pass. It's very hard to catch them out that way, but when you do, you've got to make sure you take advantage. Pass it straight back, tried to play out from the back, but too lazy. Can't do that against a pressing forward. 1-1. I talked at length before about how frustrating goalkeeping mistakes can be when they happen to you. But they should be in the game because they're a real part of football. You know, keepers do make mistakes, and you know, in a new way the game has evolved over the years, particularly when passing out from the back as well, if they're not totally switched on like in that moment there. So goalkeeping mistakes should happen regardless of the level you're playing at. And so for the realism, well, it's always nicer when you score through that way, but even when you concede them, I'm never that mad about it because, again, it's a real part of football. Anything that helps the game feel more realistic is a good thing. Yes, come on. And there is the goal to get us in front. And if we are to win something this year, we'll need some resilience. Nothing more resilient than a comeback. Diawara puts us in front for the first time tonight. Yep, it's a brilliant comeback win from Lyon, and it means our chances of finishing top 8 have increased massively. Win just one of our final 2, and we'll bypass the playoffs. But that'll do it for today's episode, guys. So big fan of you for watching, and hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode. We'll play our final 2 European games and try and finish top 8. We'll try and go top of Ligue 1 for the first time this season, take on Paris FC away in the Coupe de France, and the small matter of the January transfer window opening, where I'm expecting some bids for our star players. Have a great day, guys. Much love, and I'll see you for a big episode of Career Mode very soon.